So today I would like to speak about the beautiful mind, and for some time I had an idea to start an institute for the development of a beautiful mind. And recently I have posted on Facebook that if you want to be happy, you have to develop a beautiful mind. So we may ask, what beautiful mind would look like? What would be its quality? What would be its functions? We know that there are three functions of the mind: thinking, feeling, and willing or desiring. And these three functions should be in place, should be of a high quality, should be pure, should be spiritual. We may say that beautiful mind is also pure mind. Pure mind means mind devoid of the modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And in this context, goodness means material goodness, and material goodness is never 100% pure. When goodness is 100% pure, then it's called Shuddha Sattva, or pure goodness, and it's above the three modes, including mode of goodness, material mode of goodness. So this mind would be in the mode of Shuddha Sattva, or pure goodness. This mind would be devoid of envy and devoid of six highway robbers: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, and Moha, lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, and madness. And the beautiful mind would not criticize others and would not criticize yourself. The beautiful mind would be full of spiritual content and positive thoughts, positive thinking, positive internal dialogue. And the beautiful mind is mind that is described in the Bhagavad Gita as friendly mind or friend. Beautiful mind would be full of Krishna, thoughts of Krishna, Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Thoughts of Krishna's devotees, thoughts of devotional service. And I think the face of a person with a beautiful mind would look beautiful with the eyes, which are the index of the mind. So what else we can say about a beautiful mind? Beautiful mind will think of the welfare of others. We'd always think how to support others, how to help others. A beautiful mind will be full of great ideas for service, exciting, inspiring. Beautiful mind would be inspired, always full of inspiration. So there is these three functions that I mentioned: thinking, feeling, and willing. So beautiful mind will always feel good. Like, for example, sometimes people ask me, how are you? And I say, I'm grateful, I feel grateful, I feel enthusiastic, and I feel determined. So I would say, yeah. I think beautiful mind would be full of love and compassion and affection for people, patience, all these qualities. Would be cooperating very much with my effort to make spiritual advancement, to serve other people. Beautiful mind will not try to drag you down, to degrade you, but it will try to lift you up and to be helpful in many ways, like a friend, like a, even, I don't know, in one sense we can say that beautiful mind would be like a coach, like a spiritual coach, like a Gita coach, someone who is really dedicated to your success and who is always encouraging and helpful. It would be nice to speak more about the beautiful mind, to give more classes, or maybe create a seminar or a workshop, because it's like a nice idea and it's very much in line with what we are trying to do. We are trying to control the mind. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to say, that acharyas, they have in their writings, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Raghunath Das Goswami, they are actually addressing the mind as my dear mind. So this is addressing the mind as a person. And lately I have been recommending to devotees who have a difficulty with the mind to address the mind as a person, and to request the mind, to ask the mind to cooperate, to be helpful, and to be like a friend. So if the mind tries to distract someone, he can say, my dear mind, please cooperate in my efforts to be Krishna conscious, to be positive, to be spiritual, and then see what happens. One can deal with the mind in this very friendly and soft way, but sometimes acharyas also recommend to deal with the mind in a strict way, and to make sure that we don't make compromise with the mind. Srila Prabhupada says this in his purports in the Bhagavatam: don't make compromise with the mind. And the mind is sometimes considered to be like a captured animal, and if you don't tie the animal well, it can run away at any moment. So we have this experience with the mind, that the mind is chanchala, which means flickering, unsteady. And even Arjuna, he's saying that mind is so unsteady that it's more difficult to control the mind than stop the wind, and the wind is impossible to stop. So more difficult than impossible, that's really like incredibly difficult. Impossible. This is impossible multiplied by millions and millions. So if we would have an institute for the beautiful mind, we would definitely speak about the control of the mind, different techniques. But generally one can cultivate spiritual thoughts, one can cultivate positive thoughts, one can cultivate beautiful thoughts, and from beautiful thoughts will come beautiful feeling. But it's very, very important for a beautiful mind is also desires, what kind of desires one have. So sometimes people tell me, I don't know what I want. And I tell them, well, you can choose what you want. And there is some options, so you can choose from this and this and that. And then they may say, well, I don't know if I want any of these that are available. And then I say, well, what is it that is missing? If something, what is this? If it would be available, it would be interesting for you. And then they say, oh yeah, if this and this would be available, then I would have a choice that I would maybe consider, or that I would choose, that I would take. So this thing about desires appear in the mind, is also a great science, and there is so much that Srila Prabhupada has said in his books. And this is worth studying. all this thinking, feeling, and willing, I mean, there is so much in the scriptures about this. So these can be studied very carefully. And I think in Wikipedia there are categories also, category desire, category feelings, and one can study, quotes are already there in one place. So the resource for the Institute would be actually Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and Srila Prabhupada has written a lot about the mind and the functions of the mind. And then another thing that came to mind, came to my mind when I was thinking about a beautiful mind, is that apart from these three functions of the mind, which are thinking, feeling, and willing, there is also two more functions of the mind which are called sankalpa and vikalpa, and it means accepting and rejecting. So beautiful mind would always accept that which is favorable for spiritual advancement, for devotional service, for Krishna consciousness, the development of Krishna consciousness, and reject everything that is unfavorable. I think that would be also one of the characteristics or functions of a beautiful mind. So this is what I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. I'm happy just to reflect on this, and I'm recorded. I have recorded this so I can make notes from the recordings and develop it maybe into an article or something. So I'm happy with the session. And